Hey, welcome to the Luz Lumiere channel. If it's me, Luz Lumiere. If you're new, I'm trying something new. If you still are called to watch this video, you can go ahead and hang out with me. This is more so something I'm doing. I'm testing out some new decks today. Okay. I have a lot of emails I need to get to, and it's just so overwhelming that I just want to play hooky. And there's so much like paperwork I have to do. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to. So in any case, if somebody could timestamp when the reading starts, you could do that if you want. But rather than shuffling alone in the background, I figured I would come on and shuffle while this was on. So for people who typically watch my channel, you're probably like, what's going on here, Luz? Well, honey, what's going on here is I'm trying to do that thing that people do. Oh, I can't. Like, I'm just so opposed to like my body won't let me even say it. That thing which like everybody and their mother does. Like, it's the thing that you just people just do. I don't know how they do it. Like, it took the strength of God for me to even. I'm having trouble. Just. By the way, there may be some cat interruptions. Oh, dolphin spirit. It's cute. People do it, and it's their way. They can do that. I have to shuffle like on camera, and I take the jumpers. Not exclusively anymore, because now I will feel that there's, not now, but like I can feel that there's a card still that needs to come out, like a message rather, that needs to come out in certain ways, and I can like there's those kind of like stuff that happens in the background. So, but primarily when I shuffle, I take the jumpers. Like even for this, I took some jumpers because I was like, did I? No, I didn't. I just kind of did the shuffly thing. So today, what I'm trying to do is do that thing that people do, where they like cut the deck. Ugh. But really, rather than necessarily doing that, I'm using the second thing that I do. So while I take jumpers, sometimes I will feel like this is the card, this is the message. So that's kind of what I'm doing over here in the background. I'm testing out some decks. Initially, it was just gonna be like pick a card, and I was just gonna put that card right back in the deck and shuffle it out. Who knows? I may delete this or test it and see if it even resonates for anybody. I want to do this video because I've already done the monthlies for the month, and this is some extra love guidance because sometimes bi-weeklies rather. Sometimes the bi-weeklies, the thing happens and you're like, okay, what's next? So, so I wanted to try something out anyway, and procrastination at its finest creates some real creative stuff. So, I am okay. Testing out some decks, two decks, love deck and my animal deck. I don't know. My love deck wants to play with you guys. Like it's really fiending to play here. My animal deck, I'm having trouble connecting to it, and I realize that I don't really connect with animals that well, or like they're not like animals are not my thing, as she says, taking care of 3 fucking cats this weekend. Baby, don't even try it. Baby, don't. Okay. Well. Oh, look at him. Please, someone timestamp when the reading starts for people that don't want, or that aren't like used to my channel, please. Anyway, yeah, I'm I'm having trouble connecting to the deck, but that's pretty much how all decks are in the beginning. Like, for the most part. Wisdom of the Oracle was hard, and I was like, oh god, I made a mistake. If it wasn't for all the synchronicities. So, my animal deck, we're bonding, we're doing the thing, but I want to see how it plays nicely. I mean, we'll see. This is a giant experiment. Baby, don't look at my strings like that. Don't! What are you doing? You're super cute. Okay. Ooh, there's one more. Bee Spirit. Sweet results await. Aw, that's nice. So maybe this won't go as badly as I thought. Or maybe it will. No, I don't think it'll go as well. I don't know. We'll see. I should probably read that from the book because Colette says to. And when Mama says read, you read. No. Anyway. Oh, Dolphin Spirit. Again, this and that are true. Baby, what are you looking at? Okay, so you can pick your pile, I suppose. Pick your. Don't. It's not a string for you. Can you not? Can you not? Can you not? Thanks. You can pick a pen, the blue pen or the black pen, if there's a pile that calls to you. And let me know if you can how this resonates for you, because this is a new way. It would save my hands a lot. Boom, 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 boom. It would save my hands a lot of the shuffleation that I have to do. But, you know, it is what it... Baby, what's wrong? It is what it is. What's wrong, honey? Okay. You can either pick pile blue pen or pile black pen. Okay. So, if you've picked your pile, I'm going to go in ahead and start with pile black pen. If somebody could timestamp that in the comments, that would be great. Because I just might delete this. So, honey, yes, no, this isn't for you. This is for Auntie. This isn't for you. Stop. You were... Are you kidding me? Sorry. He likes to act up. Ooh. That's right. Sit your ass down over there. Be a cute little boy. Oh my. Oh dear. So here we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Isn't that the truth? Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. That's cute. Children. Your love life is being affected by children. I'm getting male energy from that, actually. A little baby. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Elephant Spirit. Learn from the past. Ooh! Ooh, baby, baby! Right next to forgiving and learning. That's cute as fuck. And sometimes life stings. I see that. Okay, also, I should probably try reading things in the upright, but I don't think I want to push myself that far to deny a card's position. No. I say that because let your friends help you here. Maybe that sting from the past, simply because of the positioning, but, yeah, anyway, To me, it's almost like perhaps this is someone who, I mean, this is always a story, isn't it? Someone who has overinvested in the past before, overinvested in something that sometimes, you know, and I don't mean this in a rough way, I mean this in like the most loving way. Sometimes when we're like, I gave this person everything, I did everything for them, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, for their sake. This person isn't your kid, right? Like, they're a grown adult. It's okay to do those things for a toddler. It's okay to do those things even for a child. There is a limit, especially as a child grows older. But this is a whole other grown human being. And this is where the message comes from the heart, which says they didn't ask you to do those things. They didn't ask you to live your life for them. They didn't ask you to give up everything. They didn't ask you to do all you did for them. You made that choice. And while you may have made that choice, baby, I think your hair's in my throat. God. I'm gonna cough up a hairball. Little guy, sometimes we give so much because people are givers, right? People are givers. Oh, he's so cute. Oh my God. People are givers. And of course you want to give. You're inspired to give because of how you may feel for somebody, or even because of how you may feel about yourself. Take that as you will. Sometimes you want to give to somebody because that's what you want them to do to you, for you. And you don't realize that that's where you're acting from, but you're acting from a place of an inner child who wants to be taken care of, a child who wants to be looked after. And so you look after others because that's what you would want done to you, do unto others, right? Of course, it makes sense. However, when we continuously do that for someone who hasn't asked, especially when it comes to romance, especially when it comes to love, and especially when it comes to over functioning and overdoing and over giving, there is such a thing as that. And it just kind of sucks because it makes you feel like, it makes one, I don't know who this is for, it makes one feel like giving is bad. It makes that behavior itself bad. When it's a pure behavior, giving is good. Taking care of yourself is good, but being selfish is bad. Right? Good and bad. There are appropriate and inappropriate moments, but I'll leave that for another discussion. This is not the time or place for that. So here, what I might be picking up on from the story of the romance angels is a story, or of someone who, or at least what it reminds me of someone who gives so much. It's just, you want to be careful of that. And it's not that the giving behavior is bad. It's not bad to give. It's not bad to be a giver. It's really not. It's a beautiful thing. The world needs more of that. It's just being a little bit more discerning, which sucks. If we could give freely and not expect back, that's almost ideal, because you're not giving from a place of resentment, or you're not tainting, we are not tainting this pure action, this pure energy with it. We're not lacing it with some shit. But then also sometimes that pure energy can be pre-laced. It can be pre-laced because oh, this should have actually gone in the membership. It's okay. I'll do something better for them. No, members get it in. Well, I try to anyway. I mentioned that because if it was for the membership, I could go a little bit deeper. But I'll do what I can here because I know people don't really like long readings. So I'll keep my musings to myself for a little bit. What the fuck was I saying? It's not a bad thing to give. Sometimes that energy though can come pre-laced, and by that I mean it may be coming from a thing where we want to give to others so they can give to us. And if that's not something that's obviously conscious, then it's something that's subconscious. I mean, really think about it. Especially if you're someone who is has the belief of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. right? You wouldn't treat someone poorly if you wouldn't want them to treat you poorly. It's just sometimes even the most well-meaning beliefs can be tainted. And that's what's hard about this, where that well-meaning and pure thing of giving. Giving is great. We learn a lot about giving and being of service in the spiritual world. It's just sometimes we may be giving from a place where we weren't given to, where we actually also need to give to ourselves what it is we're giving to others. And sometimes it takes a massive breakdown in our hearts in order for us to see that, hey, I'm giving to this person who isn't giving to me. I'm giving to this energy that isn't giving to me. Whether it fucking comes in love, in work, if you're an entrepreneur, if your work isn't giving to you in the way that you need to be fed, it's the same thing as a relationship. If where you're putting your money, your investments, isn't giving to you in the way that you feel you're being given to, it's the same as a relationship. There's going to be some backlash. There's going to be some sort of breakdown there. So that's kind of how certain things run the way they do on Luz Lumiere, because I'm not going back to that space. But the thing about that space is you can be broken, right? The tower comes to destroy that stuff of giving and giving and giving and giving and being depleted. Taking from your own pool and giving and leaving nothing for yourself. And it's not even leaving nothing for yourself. It's a thing where you give, hoping you'll be given to. There reaches a demarcation point where you're no longer giving because it's out of the kindness of your heart, because it's who you are. You're now crippled. You're now maimed. You're now wounded by your own kind of creed, by your own MO. It's where doing too much of anything is bad. Bad, okay? It's where your own home has become a prison, where you find comfort has become something scary, detrimental to you and your health, in your world. So sometimes when serendipity comes to break our hearts wide open in love, we can say, I'm never doing this again. Never, ever doing that again. And then we do the exact opposite of what we were doing, which is still doing too much of one thing. And that doesn't get us the results. Moderation is key. Temperance is a reason. Like, temperance is a thing that exists. Equality is a thing that exists. Equilibrium, balance, scales of justice. They're all things that exist, yeah? So, with this, you can either, when serendipity comes and breaks you, you can either go one of two ways. Well, you could go three ways, really. The first way is to swear never ever to do that behavior again. And instead you do the exact opposite. I will never give. I will never open my heart. I will hoard. I will stay. I will not stay. I will do the exact opposite. I will be like this person that cut me. I will do that. The second way is to continue building your house on sand and continuously do that same behavior, continue repeating it. The third way is where you are broken and you look at what broke you, how it broke you, why it broke you, when it broke you. Was it really at that moment that you felt that? Or had it been breaking all along and you just never woke up to it, you never realized it, or even ignored it? The third way is where you don't give up this purity of giving. It's the hardest way, because then you have to limit yourself in this pure giving energy. And not limit, but you kind of have to moderate. You have to play referee to this pure energy. which is hard because as a being, we want to give. As a giver, you want to give. It's just learning how to pivot and give to yourself what you're seeking from others. Whether or not we're seeking it from others, it's relearning how to give to ourselves anyway, even if we're not, consciously giving to get, consciously giving to receive. It's about also putting ourselves on the list of people to give to, things to honor, people to take care of. What I'm looking at here is someone who has gone through that process. What I'm looking at here is someone who has picked option 3, considered or went through a phase of option 1, and maybe even danced with option 2 a time or two. That's what I'm looking at here when I look at the cards I mentioned. Really, I'm getting this from the Romance Angels. The Romance Angels are the shit. Like, they come through. Elephant Spirit says, learn from the past. Wasp Spirit says, sometimes life stings. Sometimes it does. Now you're saying, but Luz, what are those 2 little cards in the middle? What are they? Let me tell you about these cards. Wait. 18 plus. If you are under the age of 18, please look away. Nah, JK. But there are boobs. Are boobs 18? Can you see boobs at 18? Transgress. It's very interesting. Are there boobs here too? Oops, didn't see those. Transgress. So that's like a trespass, isn't it? Something foul, something played. And here we have embrace. Oh boy. In reverse. It doesn't want to go back to the reverse. That's what I was telling you. Baby? I'm taking care of some cats. Did I mention that earlier? So I call them all baby because it's who I am as a person. I thought I heard some noise. In any case, extra love guidance. Transgress. There's some nudity here. This clown is not about it. However, it's still going along with it. Do you see that? Its face is like, no thanks, with this hand, and then still holding on with this hand to this other person who's masked and conniving. This really sits in with the 3 different sort of scenarios that I gave. What I'm looking at here is someone who's gone through all those 3. But I'm hoping it's someone who is more in the 3rd scenario of really looking at the transgressions in the past. And forgiving themselves, not just the people who hurt them, not just the situations that hurt them, but forgiving themselves for going along, forgiving themselves for being duped, feeling duped, forgiving themselves for not seeing things sooner, and not in terms of another person, but in terms of yourself. It's where when something horrible happens, you just can't believe that something so horrible happened to you, such heartbreak happened to you. How could you have allowed it to have gone that far? How could you have allowed XYZ to hurt you this way, to have, come across your world, whatever? You then turn it towards yourself. I completely forgot that I picked this for myself. I'm literally telling you like my life story. I'm sorry, baby. Go back to sleep. Did my laugh scare you? Yeah, this is, yeah, wow. I completely forgot. I was so into the message, I forgot that I picked this one for me. Like, well, I didn't pick it. My eyes were like, oh, that's the one, Luz. And I was like, okay. I forgot. Where, yeah, you, on the one hand, you're sort of holding on to something that you don't want, and on the other, knowing you don't want it. But it's boobs. Who can look away from boobs? It's something enticing. It's something um mouth-watering. It's something intriguing. It's something new. It's something different. It's something unique but also feels like home. It's something that, I mean, breasts are some things that we've had since we were kids. As a child, you're breastfed. You see your mother's boobs, your breasts, and this, that, and the other. But I'm trying to relate breasts, obviously, to the experiences that we have. Um, they're tantalizing. They're um, bait in a way sometimes. But they're also things that provide us something functional. They provide us nutrition. Um, so lessons, right? Is this a stretch? I don't. It feels like both. It feels like it is a stretch and also like not a stretch. Like it makes sense. It's like, oh, you're reaching, but then you're like, wait a minute, that actually makes a lot of sense. But it's true. Breasts help support life. Breasts have a function outside of being temptational. Breasts have an identity attached to them. So that's what I'm seeing intuitively from that card in this moment. Let's read it. On a stage, a Perot dances transgressively with how are you going to use the same word in the definition? With two women both bare-breasted. Significance. An erotic game that has gone over the limits. A break with conventional ways. Triangle. Betrayal. Oh yeah, there's I'm seeing the betrayal here. I mean, this person here, you've been betrayed. I mean, this is we know this, right? I didn't have to say that. We know this. This is a passive Three of Swords. This is an active Three of Swords in the upright, in the reverse. If you don't know the Three of Swords, maybe it'll come out if I pull tarot, but it's a heart with three swords jammed into it, and you don't need to be any sort of type of person to see that that's heartbreak, that that's pain, that that's betrayal, that that's all of those things, and one of those swords is a sword that you put yourself in there. And sometimes, often, actually, that's the hardest sword to pull out. That one's jammed up in there because we're pulling it out with one hand, but with the other hand, we're forcing it back in because we deserve to feel that pain. We deserve to feel that angst. We deserve to feel this thing because how could you let us down, right? How could you let yourself down? How could you let yourself allow this to happen? So you deserve to feel that pain. It's a jab. That's the hardest sword to pull out. So while there is, forgiving of oneself, or excuse me, while there is forgiving of another, and not just one person, of a situation, there's also forgiving of self, forgiving of your innocence, and maybe even trying to cultivate your innocence. It's hard. It's hard. When I talk about that third option, it's hard to continue to hold on to the purity of giving, even if it's not giving. It could be whatever it is. Let's stick with giving. I don't want to, yeah, whatever, giving, any sort of virtue. It's hard to look at that virtue as still a virtue and not a weakness. To look at it as something good and not something evil that hurt you. It's hard. There was a transgression here. There was a betrayal here. And not just the betrayal of self. That's the one that's probably the heaviest and low key. but with another here. Perhaps you put your trust in the wrong person. You trusted somebody, and perhaps you still trust them in some way. You still hope, maybe in some way. And if it's not the same person that you're still hoping for, the same person that hurt you, there's still this hope, but there's also this heavy doubt of the people that come your way in love. I feel more so the first one. I'm gonna speak on that one because that's one that hurts the most. Continuing to trust or hope for someone that hurt you, or someone that continues to hurt you. So then you have this transgression upon yourself that just continues to happen, where we feel for somebody who has hurt us. What does that say about ourselves? And that's not me putting it on you. That's me saying what you think, what we think. How is it that I can still pine for someone, hope for someone, dream of someone, want someone, crave someone, still feel attached to someone who hurt me so badly? With this trust here, it plays twofold. It's quite layered, I think, I'd say. On the flip side, this is also somebody who perhaps has gone through this in the past and has moved forward, has overcome, has learned from the past, has chosen that third option, continues to give, continues to be a fucking queen, continues to be a giver, continues to be badass in giving, but is triggered by their giving. Am I giving too much? Now it's a game of, again, moderation. The hard thing, where you don't know, your heart wants to do the thing that your heart wants to. I want to give to this person. I want to get them a gift, whatever the thing, whatever your poison is. But now you don't know if it's a poison or if it's water, if it's something that you just do, or if it's something that hurts you. So this is for people who are looking for love, people who are like, Luz, you fucking lost me, girl. What the beep are you talking about? If you're still listening, hey. This is someone who is trying to make peace with that part of themselves, or who has been, and trying to manage that space of giving and also holding enough back that they're not retreating or escorting themselves into old habits that didn't serve them but are still a part of their identity. There's some paranoia here as well with this embrace in reverse. Embrace. This is shady. There may have been some shadiness in the past in this situation, whether you were part of this shadiness by choice or involuntarily. There was some shadiness. Perhaps there could continue to be some shadiness, but I feel like there was shadiness, and now even if it continues, it's not so shady because now you know about it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it could still be continuing, but now it's no longer something that you're like, what? I did not notice. It's like, no, now you know. Feeling better here now. Notice me, senpai. That's all it wanted, to be noticed. Embrace in the upright says, two lovers drop the golf clubs. This just seems to me like an illicit. I feel like, why are you doing this at golf? Yes, it's in the open, which is kind of vile. If it's, I mean, look, whoa. There's some. Bruh, you need to tell me who I'm reading for. This is juicy. Can I just do this all the time? Just speak on it? I'm gonna hold my thought. They were using golf clubs. They dropped the golf clubs they were using, yup, and hold each other in a passionate and intense embrace. Significance: a perfect match, declared possession, Passion and tenderness without limits. Yeah, this is definitely reckless abandon. I mean, they dropped them golf clubs and he just touching all up on her boobs and declared possession, passion and tenderness without limits, reciprocal needs, a mutual fear of losing oneself, anxiety of being abandoned. What I'm seeing here is someone taking advantage of someone else, or someone feeling taken advantage of someone else in something that was so pure, something that was so beautiful. And I'm using superlatives. Maybe it wasn't that big of a deal in terms of like this person wasn't the end all be all. But in relation to the hurt that happened, in hindsight, it's looking like it was the end all be all. Or perhaps it's looking like that because of the value you gave it by you giving. It could have been whatever else you did, right? But by you giving, by you doing so much towards this person and say your relationship, whether it was the work, like you working on yourself, you quitting a job, you moving away, you spending time talking to them as opposed to doing this, that, and the other, you being there for them, like that purity or whatever, or need or thirst, you call it what you want, that you brought to the relationship makes it seem so that this betrayal cuts even deeper. Because again, like I said, one of those swords in that heart is yours, baby. You stabbed that heart and said it, and stay the fuck down, is what happened. So this hurt here, this embrace is vile. It's something that may have been happening out in the open. Something that maybe you told your friends, because there's some shame here with this, let your friends help you, but it's not so much shame anymore. It feels a little bit more over shame, as in like shame isn't the predominant emotion here, but some shame over sharing this person and how great they were, how great you two are with your friends or the people in your life, and now it's kind of like you were taken for a fool, you were taken for a ride, and those are things that fuck. I'm sorry if I'm triggering you. There is peace here. There is serendipity here because you're doing well. You're moving forward. You still have hope, and it's not not unprecedented. No, it's not a mirage. Yeah, it's not the word I'm looking for, but it's not a mirage here. Because even through all what you've gone through, you've moved through this, or you are moving through this. If this is someone who you are still holding on to, even with the transgressions, even with the vile emotions or feelings or actions, you are choosing it. By that I mean you're in your power. You're in a position where you've said, you're not the same person you were. And not to say the person you were was bad or wrong. You're just different. You've changed. Some people might use the words, I've grown up. Which is sad because, well, I just don't like that. It makes growing up seem like when you go through pain, heartbreak, betrayal, or whatever, that growing up, that is the threshold you cross. Once you've experienced a great pain, that's when you grow up. I don't like that. I don't like that. There's something, it makes it seem like hope and trust and faith and giving and all these pure things that are considered of youth or of childhood or of naivete are of that place, and when you grow up you have to forsake those things when it's just, it's the easy thing to forsake them, or the easiest of the options. It's hard to be able to balance giving and receiving, giving and allowing, giving and doing, and backing down and being passive and being, being in that receptive mode. It's difficult. As a man, as a king who gives, as a queen who gives. Pretty sure I lost the kings earlier when I said queen, but shit. as a person who gives, as a person who does for others or who did in the past, if you decided to no longer give because you were being taken for a ride, I would invite you to look at it again, please. Don't forsake the innocence of that energy because one person, three people, seven people took it for granted. Personally, that's something I still have to fight for. Personally, I make conscious decisions to continue doing what I do, how I do it. And it's a conscious choice to know and trust that, and remind myself rather, that what this person has done is more of a reflection on them. Obviously, it's going to affect me. And to you, I give you that same gift of re looking at the situation and seeing if truly there was something you would have done differently. And if there wasn't, like I said, second scenario where you continue doing the same thing, at least you continue doing it because as a result of you choosing to, as a result of you learning from your past. Now I have to read the animal spirits. But I feel like we discussed it, really. But I don't know. I don't think I've ever met elephant spirit or wasp spirit outside of the times that we first introduced ourselves to each other. Which, by the way, I have yet to introduce myself to this deck, but we pretty much are besties. Um, we love each other. I stocked that card deck. um, I like it a lot. Come through, Animal Spirit. You guys came in clutch. I appreciate that. Elephant Spirit says learn from the past. Although we often wish we could leave the past behind, Elephant Spirit reminds us that memory matters. We must respect the wisdom of elders who hand down to us traditions they have shaped to express our connection to each other and respect for the community. What has come before informs what we are experiencing today, and we must never forget our legacy of strength and dignity. Elephant Spirit appears with the message that we are to acknowledge that which came before and learn from it. All of us are memory-based creatures. I get it. And we must revisit the past to understand where we are and where we are going. I love that. That's such a great tie-in with the children here. That innocence and purity. The stories of events you experience, the stories in our collective memory, and the stories of relationships you have had can be told many ways. What story will you tell? Elephant Spirit is here to encourage you to make it one that stirs in you a sense of power and dignity, for you have honored yourself by choosing to learn from your past. Come fucking through, B. Spirit rejoices in your willingness to learn and grow. Spirit. I really hope this didn't trigger anybody. I'm sure it did. If I heard this, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that guy. But I really want to say that um, this is actually real. Like this, if this reminded you of where you've come from, if this has reminded you of where you've been, this is a reminder of where you've been. Like you're not there anymore. You're not there anymore. You're not in the space of thrusting that sword and twisting it inside your heart anymore. You're not feeling so much of that shame anymore. You're moving through that space. You're not feeling the things that you were feeling. At least you're not feeling them from a place of, I hate this, I hate myself, I hate this person, I hate this situation. You're in a more empowered state. You're in a place where you can look at this person and you can say, you've hurt me. And if you're still choosing to fraternize with them, you're purposely choosing that. You're no longer this innocent bystander. You're now choosing to be with this person in whatever way you're choosing to be with them, or entertain them, or this situation. If you're choosing to go for others, it's the same thing. You haven't given up on love yet. You're still choosing to entertain. You're still choosing to look at people who come your way and say, you know, this is where I've come from. This is what I've learned, and this is how I'm going to act moving forward. These are the things I'm going to keep an eye out for. So if this has triggered you, please know that this is what it's looking like to me is more an affirmation of being like, come fucking through. You made it. Be welcome, and you're in a position of power. That's probably why this felt more like a member reading. It's got sovereignty written all over it. Wasp spirit. No, the membership's not open. It probably won't open for quite some time. If you're wondering. Wasp spirit says sometimes life stings. Not all that spirit creates in nature is easy to love. But when we look through the eyes of wasp spirit, we recognize that even though sometimes life stings, there's a purpose for pain, just as there is a purpose for wasps in the natural world. Wasps keep insect populations down, supporting the growth of plants. This is basically, there was something that I was saying earlier about how, like, what did I say? There was something I said earlier about, like, the thing I just read, where you're stung and then you, okay, well, whatever. So too, the sting of life may hurt, and you may feel deeply disappointed. Oh, where spirit comes to break you, and then you decide to choose which path you're gonna take. And often we choose all of them. Again, my readings can be really layered. You may have chosen every single one. It's just where are you at right now? Which path are you currently living and breathing from, right? The sting of life may hurt you. It may hurt, and you may feel deeply disappointed or even resentful that wasp spirit has shown up. But you will soon come to see that spirit has something wonderful in store for you. You may well come to realize that being stung led to something far better than you envisioned for yourself. Come through, amen. Perhaps behind the scenes, wasp spirit was conspiring with spirit to ensure that you could grow something of value to you. Yep. Spirit has a plan, and wasp spirit plays a part, definitely. Have you ever looked back and been glad your prayers weren't answered by the path you took? Because the path you took led to something far better? Wasp spirit is a reminder to reflect on those times. For today's sting may hurt, but something better awaits you. So, B, look, we did it. We did it. We did it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I feel like there's more. I was gonna like do some clarifiers with the tarot because your girl is still learning the tarot, and tarot is a different beast in and of itself. I probably should have done that as well, just so we can also, by we I mean me, also continue with my tarot education, but I'm gonna leave that for another experimentation day. I think 2 decks is enough. Okay, so in any case, I wish you the best of luck. If you'd like a private reading, I suppose you can book one, like if you wanted to. Information for that is in the description box below. If this resonated for you, if this touched you in some way, if this spoke to you, I would really be curious to know, because I definitely took liberties with this in terms of reading, but it's more so like I'm not comfortable with the shuffle style. So if you say please do more readings like this, what I'm assuming you're saying is please do longer, more in-depth readings like this. But I don't really do that for the channel at large because, well, we'd be here forever. But no, because if you're into, fuck, just let me know what's good. If this resonated for you, come through. If it didn't, you probably aren't listening to this part anyway. Let's face it, unless you're just listening to some loose ASMR, loose, loose voice. Anyway, I have a problem. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Keep your light on, and good luck. Hey, Blue Pen. If somebody timestamped this, may you please timestamp it at the part where it said, hey, Blue Pen. Thanks. Okay. Blue Pen. Have you drank water today? Blue Pen, I'm trusting that you heard my spiel in the beginning of the video. So let's go ahead and get into it. I don't know why they play with me like that. Nice. You've been transformed. That's nice. That's hilarious. 11 and 22. You've been transformed, but there's still. Oh. There's still. That's okay. That's okay. All right. Make the effort in reverse. Great love is worth taking the steps you are guided to take. You're not doing that. Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. There's some pettiness going on here. But let's see. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. There's some pettiness going on here. Someone's playing games. Anything's to you. You've changed. You've changed. I want to say you want to make it look like you've changed, but no, I feel like you have changed. Is it for the better, though? I don't know. Provocation. Trying to get a rise out of somebody. Someone's being petty here. It's you. You're doing something to be petty. I don't know what you're doing or who you're doing it to with, but you being a little petty. Okay? There is a pettiness here, but who knows? This could not be you. I think it's you, but I really want some cornflakes. I started a diet, and now everything I'm craving is just like carbs. I really should have gotten like my cornflakes fill before I started it. Koi fish. There is always enough. Well, let's see how this goes. That's interesting. Butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. Is it? It is, actually. You've changed. And you like it. But it's almost like you're approaching this situation with some air of pettiness. And you're here for it. Like, you don't give a fuck. It could be new for you. Maybe you've always been petty. But it's new for you to be petty in this place, at this time, in this way, with this person, all of the above, or choose your poison, right? But you've changed, and there's something alluring about this. It's just, I feel like it's fragile. That's the word. That's what it is. I feel like it's fragile. I feel like it takes a lot of energy from you to be this way. But you don't know that. Like, you don't, you're enjoying flying high. There's an enjoyment here. Let me not say it to you. There's an enjoyment here of flying high, of being light, of being a goddess, of being a demigod, of being someone moving through fields and bushes. It's winter outside, but moving through fields and bushes and lavender and silk and wind swept hair and robes, and you just queening and kinging, and it's like Yasby. And it's great. It is a Yasby moment. It's just, it feels fragile to me. But I don't feel like you can feel the fragility here. This is like a baby who's learned to crawl, or a baby who's learned to walk, and they don't realize that they're still a baby. This is a baby who's learned to crawl, and they still don't really understand depth perception. And so they're doing things, and they're mobile now. They don't have to be stuck in one place. If they want to go somewhere, they can go. They don't have to be lifted, and they don't have to cry anymore. They can do the thing by themselves, but it's almost like they won't be able to see the staircase. They won't be able to see the dip. There's still a fragility, the dangers. They don't understand that there's a shard of glass where they're walking. They don't get that this is a hot stove. I mean, I don't know. The stove is hot. Somehow the whole contraption is hot. Maybe they touch the ground and it's hot and they get hurt. There's a fragility here. So there's still this Yasby moment, but it's also like, yo, be gentle with yourself, man. And not just with yourself, but like, yeah, with yourself. But there's something different. Be gentle with your heart. What I'm seeing here is something of a fake out. Like, you're not faking it. Like, you're really feeling yourself. Like, you're feeling good. You deserve this, you deserve that. You're brand new. It's just, it feels like if you are dealing with somebody and you're feeling the exaltation, if you're feeling your pedestal rising, it almost seems like if they stop raising the pedestal, you'll freak out. And not to say revert, because revert would actually be tame. The fall from grace would be a fall from grace. If you are under the age of 18, please look away. I will also cover her tatas. Indifference. Because part of you still cares. But it's not a part of you that's active right now consciously. That's the fall from grace. That's like where, if this, let's say you're dealing with somebody, and let's say you, I don't know, I don't know. Let's say you're dealing with somebody, and maybe they weren't treating you as good as you would have. Oh, baby, as good as you would have liked. And let's say you did some things, and now they're treating you better. This feels like the fake out part of this is where if that person they really revert back to what they used to do, a part of you, you want to sleep in my hand? Come here, baby. Oh, come here. Oh, okay, baby, come, no, stop. Come here. Come play with me. Come sit with me. Okay. Okay, fine. Um, a part of you might freak out to try and get them back to exalting you. And so you might like chase them. Like not I don't want to say chase them, but it's almost like someone is chasing you. Someone is chasing you, right? And you're like, this feels so good. This is nice. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? They don't even say anything. All of a sudden you look back and they're not chasing you anymore. They're actually either stopped or looking elsewhere or maybe even like walking away. Then that's the moment where you're like, wait, like wait, right? And then you start chasing them. That fall from grace. I don't know what this is. You'll have to let me know. Hey, baby. You'll have to let me know who I'm reading for. This is new. But I don't feel like you know this. I feel like there's been some shortcuts that have been taken to get you to this exaltation moment. You are in a Yasbi state, and that's awesome. There's nothing bad about that Yasbi state. It's just there's something about that that's weird. I don't know. It seems like you can maintain that Yasbi state. It just seems like there's something that may be being that there may be there may be some avoidance about here. There may be avoiding doing. It's almost like it's like a trick, like how there's certain tricks. I think it's called games. I don't know how to play games, so I don't know like the language. I think it's called games. Yeah, there's certain games you can play truly to elicit a certain response from somebody. You can do it. You can fake the funk. It's a game, right? It's a faking of the funk. Well, sometimes it's not, but let's say it's almost like you fake the funk. Let's say you got the hot tip to make somebody chase you. Cool. And you're doing it and it's working. And you're feeling it. And go you. Shit. Like, fuck it up. However, because it almost has a time limit. Because it's a game. It's not a real, it's not based on a internal foundation within yourself that when it looks like it's not working anymore, when it looks like it's no longer, and we've all been there, when it looks like it's no longer giving you the effect that you wanted, then you sort of like relapse, then you sort of bounce back to what it used to be, that fall from grace. So I feel like with this, if there was to be guidance here, it would be do a little bit more internally, I want to say. Continue being your Yasbi self, but do a little bit more to make it actually stick within yourself. And perhaps, look, you probably clicked out. I ain't listening to this shit. If you're still listening, perhaps with this transformation, you have. Perhaps with this transformation you have. Perhaps you used to fake the funk. Maybe. Like, maybe. Perhaps you have, done the thing. Perhaps you have made the effort. Perhaps you're no longer faking the funk. Perhaps you now create the funk. You have a flower that blooms and provide the funk. You're not just the perfume bottle. You are the flower. You are the seed. You are the garden that the funk comes from. Not just a temporary bottled up solution. Perhaps you have transformed. And here we have passion. Passion fruit. Why do her tatas have to be out though? I mean, really. The nice thing about having transformed, if that's where you're at, you don't have to fake indifference anymore. Because now vulnerability is your strength. Because your foundation inside of you is so strong, because you know what it is to fake the funk, and because now you know what it is to have yourself be the funk. You no longer have to pretend to have the funk, to fake the funk. And so whenever you move, whenever you exude what you exude, whenever you do what you do, you don't have to necessarily play the game or spray the perfume, because baby, you're a walking field. You're a walking maze. Like, you are the thing, like you are the game. You are the maze. You are the field. You don't have to try. You just do, because the foundation is inside of you. The vibe is really what it is. The essence, truly, you are the garden. Because you have transformed. You did already make the steps, make the effort to getting yourself internally, those little building blocks inside of you, to be who you needed to be in order for you not to fake the funk. You are truly, sincerely lighthearted. You are truly, sincerely looking for more longevity, more stability. You're no longer in the temporary state of things. Like, you are the damn thing. Also, here, perhaps you've traveled. Perhaps there will be some traveling here. Just have to say that. Across seas, across water. And you may be worrying about the money. I just have to say that. If you are and you're traveling, release your energy a little bit, and we'll see what happens with that. I just had to say that. Passion. The wonderful thing about reckless abandon, and the wonderful thing about being essence, like you not faking the funk, about being the funk, is you can do whatever the fuck you want, and because you are the essence of what you are, it comes off as that. Like, you can, if you have the essence of your, like, Yasbi, I don't even know how to describe Yasbi anymore. Like, if you are the essence of this poised, statuesque field person who's just like, you are a tampon commercial. Like, you are just living life to the fullest. You are like the beer commercial. Like, you are just living, like, ooh, you, like, that's you, right? Like, that commercial is you. You're not playing a game. Like, that's really who you are. That person, they can chase all day long, and it doesn't even look like chasing, because they're not chasing. The energy that they're coming from is so not even that. Like, they're just being, and things will come to them. That's how you look at someone who's like, well, I did the same thing that they did, but I didn't get the same results. And it's like, well, yeah, the funk, you were faking the funk. They are the funk. Or someone can say, I did the same thing you did. How come it didn't work for me? It's like, oh, I am the funk. You were trying to fake the funk. And while there is something as acting as if, of course, there's that. But it's almost like, while you're acting as if, we ought to still make the efforts to build the thing, so that we're no longer acting. So that we just are it. With this passion here, I see someone who, because of their transformation, they're able to be vulnerable. They're able to be wild. They're able to be naked. They're able to be bold with lovers, with their lover, with future lovers, with even past lovers or prospects or just the world, because they are the fun. What am I doing here? Am I reading something? Yes. Who am I reading? Oh, there you are. Indifference. A young nude woman in the middle of a fountain enjoys a spout of water. More interested in playing games with water than games of love. Oh, bitch. Oh, man. That's so cool. I keep it, damn, I keep it to myself. Significance, indifference, lack of interest, tiredness, a distracted and distant attitude, lack of commitment with regard to the couple. Interesting. But it's in reverse. This is someone who can allow themselves to feel attachment, but also let go of the outcome because of the fact that they are in the essence. So this isn't indifference in the sense of being, I mean, look, there's two people here, okay? Or this is your past and this is your future, or this is something that you keep cycling in and out of, where you care and then you don't care, you pretend not to care, but you do care. Where you care, you say you care, you stand in the fact that you care, and you're okay with caring, and you drop the ball. You say, the ball is no longer in my court, there is no ball. If you want to come to me, you come to me, correct, but this is where I'm at. No longer making the effort. Just being who they are, because shit, this is who I am. You either come to me or you won't. You either are for me or you're not. I love reading for singles because it's just like singles. There's just this like fresh plate. Anyway, I'm just saying that I'm not reading for singles. I don't really know who I'm reading for here. You'll have to let me know. I like this. We got a lot of fantasy, but nothing concrete. Interesting. Okay. Passion. Drunk with passion under a cherry tree, a couple exchange effusions of love, biting the same fruit together. Significance. Carried away by love, intense desire, passion. The desire to discover together strong and visceral feelings, reciprocal promises. This is good. Either way, if you're thinking about somebody, you're getting their attention. Just make sure you build yourself up. TLDR. TLDR, you're getting this person's attention. You're getting the attention of somebody, or you will be, with that attitude. One way or the other, game playing or not. It's just, continue to reinforce yourself on the inside so that you don't buckle in the event that what you're getting has the illusion or the actuality of falling by the wayside. Okay? I'm gonna end here. Am I? Ooh, there's always enough. Koi fish spirit. You want me to read that? Yeah. Okay. The koi fish who grows big within a small pond reminds us that within each of us is the potential for prosperity. The law of abundance ensures that prosperity is our natural state. Didn't I talk about money or something? Oh yeah, koi fish. How did I get money from that? That's so crazy. Wow. Oh right, enough money. Okay, cool. The message of koi fish spirit is to begin to generate wealth within. Ha! 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 Within. With deliberate intention. No matter how small your pond may seem, and appreciate abundance wherever you see it. Outer conditions will come to reflect your inner prosperity, so begin to become the self who is comfortable with wealth in all forms. Even if, at the moment, it feels as if riches are not yours, they soon will be. Start to envision the plenty that Spirit wants to experience. Know that the moment you begin to commit to conscious and deliberate co-creating, a Spirit will joyfully start bringing you what you need. You have so much to offer and so much of value to express to the world. In your little pond, there is much you can create and much you can attract. Do not underestimate what you have and who you are. For Koi Fish Spirit wants you to know that you are exquisite, loved, and deeply cherished. Trust that outer conditions are changing to reflect that truth. Just again, don't fake the funk. Because if truly outer conditions are showing that, if it is fake, then outer experiences will also show that. Just build yourself up on the inside. This is a great message. It's awesome. I'm surprised I didn't pick this one, actually. Butterfly Spirit says transformation is beautiful. Joy and the beautiful lightness of being alive and creative in the world is the focus when Butterfly Spirit flutters before you. Transformation is inevitable. As you grow into your most beautiful, empowered self, indeed, you will go through some uncomfortable stages as you let go of the forms of your life that no longer fit the new you. Come through. Even relationships must go through shifts so to match your new emerging self. Sorry, I flipped the page and I didn't know what I was saying. If you focus on the beauty and not the challenges, stop taking yourself too seriously, come through, keep it light with that flirt card. Yes. And choose to be playful, loving, and joyous, you will soon know the miracle your soul wants to experience through you. Oh, it's beautiful. Today is a day for joy, so alight. Look around and see the beauty that is everywhere in everyone, including you. Yo, I appreciate you, especially if you stuck out through that whole petty thing. If that's where you are, cool. If you've moved to the transformation, cool. Either way, I appreciate you and I adore you. Let me know what you thought about this reading. Was it for you? Was it you? Let me know if it was for you. I mean, I don't know. Do what you want. And let me know what I don't do it like this. It wasn't weird. I've gotten messages like this before. Yeah, these cards are chatty. Very chatty. You've heard me read those two animal ones, and then these new ones are in depth. They're like a wisdom of the oracle, but like very it's a lot. And the romance angels, they don't play with me either. They give me some real stuff. Let me know how this was for you. Let me know. I know this wasn't for everybody, really. At least not in the way that you're used to. So, it's really nice. Anyway. Alright, babes. I will see you on the flip side. Keep your light on, and good luck.